There's a new package in town that you definitely don't want to miss it if you are working with AI systems. It is called TOON, and it is short for Token-Oriented Object Notation. Why is it useful? It creates a notation that is token efficient. What they do is basically take JSON as an input and create TOON as an output, and as you can see, it is much shorter and it saves up tokens, which actually cost money. So if we take this example of basic JSON input, you can basically see that we are duplicating a lot of data because we are doing ID, name, role, and if we had more of these, there would be even more duplication. And over here in TOON, we only add up new lines because we already know the shape that's going to be used over here. It is kind of similar to YAML, but it is even more optimized for it to have less tokens than YAML. So there's an interesting graphic. So basically your workflow is, if you are working with data, you can create your JSONs, you can do encoding to TOON, and then you send it to your LLM for processing, and you will save up money. And what's interesting is that you will also increase the accuracy, because I'm thinking that the LLM models, they are still quite limited in the amount of context that they can have and reliably work with. So if you are providing it in a smaller, more concise format that is, as we can see, better for them, you will also have better accuracy for your prompts. So it's a double whammy. You save up on cost, and you also have better accuracy on your prompts, which is kinda cool. So what is it about? So as we already went, basically it is for providing data in a limited format, and we have a much bigger example over here. Let's just paste it out in the tool that they provide. Basically the community has created, and we can see that this takes up this whole page, and we only need this small amount of space. And even though this is mainly for LLMs, I think I would kind of prefer it in some cases even instead of JSON. JSON is a cool format, it is easy to understand, but sometimes I guess if you have a lot of rows and you have a lot of duplication over here, it's even for a programmer human is much easier to work with this data, because you know that here is the name, you have the distance, etc., and you can just go in and update the data yourself. And I guess it's not that hard to write parsers back and forth between TOON and JSON, and you can just do that as well. So you could probably use it in your applications. But yeah, the main idea is to use it for LLMs, but it is also, they also write when it's not useful. For deeply nested or non-uniform structures, basically if you have a JSON that's not following precise rules, like you don't have tabular data, maybe you have, like over here, you have another JSON object, like object, and then you have like another object like here, and you have different properties over here, OB, and that's some kind of string maybe, and the TOON object converter would have a hard time with this, because the data is all over the place and it would not be able to convert it to something useful. So in such a case, it's not very useful. Semi-uniform arrays and pure tabular data. Basically, if you have a CSV, it is actually smaller than TOON, and then you really don't need it, because you already have a very optimized data set. And latency critical applications. They also did benchmarks, where we have the TOON object, and you have JSON compact, which is JSON but minimized, which is probably kind of hard to read for a human, but not hard for an LLM. Then you have YAML and regular JSON and XML, which is kind of hard for me to parse. And you have the amount of tokens, and the accuracy also changes. And not sure what these bars stand for. 26 of what? Well, whatever. So yeah, it is performing quite well. You could definitely test it out yourself and see for yourself if the LLM still understands it when you use it. And we have a lot of tooling. You can quickly test it out with a CLI. Basically, you can run it with npx, and you can provide your JSON data to it, and it will do the conversion. There's also a TypeScript library that you can install, and that's pretty much it. There's also a VS Code editor support, and what else do we have here? Another CLI, and I think there are a lot of community implementations, and official implementations are in development, which is quite cool. We will have .NET, Dart, Go, Python, and Rust. And community implementations are already here for PHP. I will maybe try it out at my work and see how that works for me. Though I'm not doing a lot of AI work, so to say, but I do a lot of prompting. Maybe that added accuracy will be worth it for me to convert my JSONs to the TOON format. So yeah, definitely try it out. Looking at the benchmarks, it should definitely be a useful tool. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments below.